At my sister's engagement party, there were 12 seats at the table but 13 of us showed up. Our uncle joked, "There's always someone extra." Everyone laughed. I smiled and said, "Extras are easy to remove." Then I quietly stood up and left. 40 minutes later the lights went off, the music stopped and the staff started packing up. The whole party fell apart. My uncle raised his glass and laughed again, "There's always someone extra." Everyone chuckled, thinking it was just another harmless joke. I looked around at the fancy table, expensive napkins, champagne glasses and $1,000 cake. Everyone dressed up, pretending the past didn't matter. I smiled, but it wasn't a real one. "Extras are easy to remove," I repeated calmly, pushed my chair back and walked out. No one followed. Not my mom. Not my dad. Not even my sister, the one whose engagement we were supposed to be celebrating. 40 minutes later, I got a call from a waiter I knew from high school. "Hey, what did you do? The party's falling apart." I asked what he meant. He told me the staff had been told to pack up, the DJ left early and someone cut the lights during the first dance. I just said, "Good," and hung up. What no one at that table knew, not even my sister with her fake smile, was that I had planned this for months. Not for revenge. Not because I was angry. But because I was done being the forgotten one in the family. And this didn't start at the engagement party. It started long before. Before the $5,000 loan she never paid back. Before she accidentally cropped me out of the family photo. Before she looked me in the eye last Christmas and said, "You know, we don't really need you." But I stayed quiet. I helped when they needed it. I paid the bills. I showed up when no one else would. I stayed the good son, the good brother, until they called me extra. That word stuck with me. You see, extra is what they call you when they've already replaced you. They just haven't told you yet. And when you know you've been replaced, you've got nothing left to lose. It didn't start with some big betrayal. It started with, "Can you help?" Just this once. The first time Emma asked me for money, she cried. She said rent was due and she didn't want mom and dad to know. She'd lost her job and needed help. I sent her $1,200 that same day. She never brought it up again. The second time she texted me, "It's just $300. I'll pay you Friday." Friday turned into next month. Next month turned into never. I never said no. That was my mistake. I was the older brother, the backup plan. The one they only remembered when they needed something. When dad needed surgery and the better brace wasn't covered. I paid. When mom wanted to surprise Emma with a new car. I co-signed the lease. When the heater broke in January, I sent money at 2 a.m. And every time they either said nothing or acted like it was expected. At first I thought that's just what family does. If I kept helping, maybe they'd finally see me, not as a wallet but as their brother, their son. I was wrong. The cracks really showed when Emma got engaged. I found out on Instagram, a fancy video her on a rooftop fake surprised, while her fiancé held out a ring the size of my rent. They popped champagne. A drone flew around. The caption said, "I said yes. Can't wait to celebrate with those who matter most." I stared at it thinking maybe I missed a call. But I hadn't. That night the family group chat was full of excitement, not the one I was in. A different one. I only knew because mom accidentally sent me a screenshot from the wrong chat. The one called Inner Circle. I wasn't in it. Then came the dinner at our aunt's place. I was invited last minute. When I walked in, Emma looked annoyed. "Hey, didn't know you were coming." Our uncle poured wine and joked, "There's 13 of us. Someone's always extra." Everyone laughed. I didn't. Later I checked my credit card bill. $2,800 for wedding flowers. $1,050 for the venue deposit. $600 for a custom cake. All charged to a card I hadn't used in months. The one I gave my parents during the pandemic just in case. I called the event company. "Hi, this is Jenna from Evie's Events. Is this the best number to confirm the rest of Emma's flowers?" I hung up without saying a word. 2 days later I saw a post on Facebook. My cousin had commented on Emma's bridal shower photos. "Can't wait to meet your brother finally." Emma replied, "Oh, you won't. He's not part of this part of my life. Not invited. Not wanted." But my bank account told a different story. The final straw? The group gift. A week before the engagement party, mom emailed me. "We're all chipping in for Emma's honeymoon surprise. Since you live far, I've put you down for $1,000. Send it when you can. Love you. I didn't reply. I didn't lose my temper. Not yet. I waited. I paid attention. I saved screenshots, receipts, emails. Proof of how they really saw me. Like the text Dad sent Emma. Don't worry, I told him he's working that weekend. He won't show up. Like the message from Emma's fiancé to his friend. Her brother's a bit much. Just avoid mentioning him. Her family says he always brings drama. Like Mom's Facebook post. So proud of our girl. This wedding is for family, the ones who always showed up. And still I kept paying for everything. Until the engagement party. It was held at a fancy vineyard just outside the city. Pretty tables with linen covers, string lights hanging above, live music, and even a cute little guest book with an old typewriter. I drove there in silence. Not because I had nothing to say, but because no one ever listened anyway. The table was set for 12. I made it 13. Uncle joked, "There's always someone extra." Everyone laughed. I looked around. Emma in her white dress. Mom glowing like it was her own party. Dad already tipsy. Friends, cousins, relatives, all smiling, all pretending I wasn't even there. I smiled too. Extras are easy to remove, I said. Then I stood up. No drama. No yelling. I just left. 40 minutes later, the lights went out. The music stopped in the middle of a song. The staff told them the payment didn't go through, something about a locked credit card and flagged accounts. The champagne service stopped. The cake never even made it out. The photographer packed up and left without being paid. Then someone checked the booking paperwork. Turns out the venue had been cancelled not that night, weeks ago. I didn't ruin anything. I just stopped paying for it. They never noticed. Or maybe they just assumed the money would keep coming, even if I wasn't invited. But when I walked out, they lost more than just a guest. They lost their wallet. They lost their silence. And they were about to lose even more. A week later, they bought tickets to a big game, front row seats for a sold-out match. Local team versus the state rivals. The kind of game Dad always bragged about watching with real fans. Then came Mom's text. "Let's start fresh. We got everyone seats. Just come watch the game. Have a beer. No drama. We miss you. No drama." That was cute. I said yes. Not because I wanted to start fresh, but because I wanted to end this my way. Loud and clear. At the stadium gate, Emma was already taking selfies with her giant foam finger, acting like everything was fine. Mom had her best, "See, we're still a family" smile on. Dad handed me a hot dog like a peace offering. "Try to enjoy yourself," he mumbled, already walking away. I sat 2 seats apart from them. Not to be petty, just to keep some space. Distance was the only thing that ever made being around them bearable. The first half of the game was a blur. Shouting. Bad beer. Plastic cheese. Dad yelling at the ref like he owned the team. Emma live streaming with the caption. "Family night. Blessed." I wasn't in her camera once. But I waited. Because halftime was coming. And in that crowd they couldn't avoid me. 15 minutes before the break, I stood up and said loud enough for them to hear. "Let's grab something to eat. I've got something to say." Dad looked confused. Mom tensed up. Emma rolled her eyes. We walked to the food stands. The air smelled like chili fries and old ketchup. I picked a table in the corner, not too loud but close enough for others to hear. And then I started talking. "You wanted peace. You wanted to talk like a family? Fine," I said. "But I'm not doing it your way anymore." Emma sipped her drink and laughed. "Are we really doing one of your speeches again?" I pulled out my phone, opened a folder and turned the screen toward them. Look. $2,800. Flowers. $1,050. Venue deposit. $600. Cake. Mom blinked. Dad opened his mouth but no words came out. All charged to my card. The card that was only for emergencies. "Remember that, Mom?" She looked down at the table. "I didn't even get invited. But you had no problem letting me pay for the party." Dad tried to explain. "We didn't know." "That's not true," I cut him off. "You knew. You were just sure I wouldn't check. You were sure I'd keep paying and stay quiet." I turned to Emma. "And your Instagram says, self-made, but who paid your rent for 6 months when you couldn't keep a job? Who bailed you out after that crypto scam?" Her face went pale. You don't have to be mean. I'm not being mean, I said. I'm being honest. I pulled up her fiancé's gift registry. See this? Half those gifts. Paid for by me. No thanks. No asking. Before she could say anything, I turned the phone toward Dad. And this. I showed him a screenshot from a group chat. His name was right there. Don't invite him. He makes everything awkward. Awkward. I raised my voice. You mean the guy who paid for your last 3 vacations? The guy you call when your car breaks down, but never when it's time for family photos. Dad's face turned red. That was a joke. No. A joke is, someone's always extra. I leaned forward. I was the one keeping the bills paid, making sure everything looked good. Smiles on your faces. And the second I stopped paying, I became the outsider. People were watching now. A woman at a nearby table looked up from her nachos. A kid in line turned to stare. I didn't care. I wanted them to watch. You brought me here thinking I'd behave. That I'd take the ticket, sit quietly and pretend everything's fine. But I'm not here to behave. Emma hissed, you're making a scene. No, I said. I'm making a record. I stood up, lifted my phone and hit send, to all of them. Their phones buzzed at the same time. Notifications lighting up. Mom frowned. What's this? It's your bill, I said. Every dollar I paid. Every time you asked. Every time I said yes. And every time you acted like it never happened. I looked each of them in the eye. The shared accounts. Closed. Automatic payments. Cancelled. The wedding costs. Gone. The apartment lease I co-signed. Terminated. Utilities. You'll need them in your own names by Friday. Emma gasped. You can't. I already did. Dad slammed his soda down. You think because you've got money you can shame us? You think that makes you better than family? No, I said calmly. But lying to my face while spending my money? That makes you dishonest. And I'm done paying for people who don't respect me. Silence. Then Mom spoke softly. You'll regret this. I looked at her like I was seeing her for the first time. No. You'll regret testing the only person who kept this family standing. I turned to walk away. 1 step. 2. Then I paused. Oh, and thanks for the ticket, I added. I'm keeping the seat. But from now on, I sit alone. I walked back into the stadium as the second half started. The crowd roared. I didn't look back. They stayed at that plastic table holding their phones, now full of proof. Bank statements. The reality that their free ride was over. For the first time in years I wasn't paying for them. I was walking away. Pling. I didn't call after the game. I didn't text. I didn't start drama. And the silence? It hit harder than any fight ever could. 3 days later I got an email. Not from Emma. Not from Mom. From Dad. Subject. Let's be adults. Body, we know you're upset. Things got heated. Let's not drag this out. Let's talk. I didn't reply. I forwarded it to my lawyer. I didn't need to sue them, just remind them what would happen if I did. My lawyer, Noah, was quiet and serious. Beshtai, no drama. He wrote up a 3-page letter. Bank records. Payment receipts. And a cover letter so cold it could freeze the room. This letter outlines the unauthorized use of Mr. my last name as finances, including fraud, misrepresentation, and unjust enrichment. Full repayment is expected within 10 business days, or legal action will follow. He mailed it. Certified. Signature required. They signed for it. 5 days passed. Silence. Then, the money started showing up. First, $300. Then, $1,100. Then, $8,600 all at once, labeled partial repayment. Sorry for the confusion. Confusion. I sent a screenshot to Noah. He sent them a follow-up the same day. Partial is not acceptable. Full amount required. Non-negotiable. 2 weeks later I had it all. Every dollar I'd spent on Emma's wedding. Every dime for Dad's rough months. The bills. The rent. The groceries. The gifts. Even that overpriced cupcake tower. They paid it all back. No court. No threats. Just fear. Fear of what might happen if they didn't. No one admitted they were wrong. Emma sent $2,000 with a note, just trying to fix things. I refunded it. I wasn't accepting guilt money. I already got what was owed. Mom left a voicemail. Her sad, shaky voice from years of Dad yelling. Honey, can't we just move past this? You've got the money. Can't we move forward? Forward. I listened to the message twice. Then deleted it. She wanted to move forward from something she never even looked back at. I didn't leave town. I didn't change my number. I only changed one thing. My rules. No more favors. No more Sunday dinners. No more letting family be an excuse to steal from me with a smile. A week later, Emma texted asking if I'd come to her birthday dinner. I replied, you already got your gift. With interest. She left me on read. They tried one more time. This time a letter, from Dad. Handwritten. 2 pages. Perfect cursive. The first line, I never meant for things to get this far. I stopped reading. Because they always mean to take advantage. They just never mean for you to notice. Now my life is quiet. Same apartment. Same neighborhood. Same cafe on 6th and Main. But no knocks on my door. No last-minute emergencies. No you're invited texts with price tags attached. Sometimes I pass Emma's fiancé downtown. He sees me, looks away. Good. He should. One afternoon I saw Mom outside the pharmacy. He tried to wave. I kept walking. They gave me my money back. But they'll never get me back. One night I found a letter slid under my door. No envelope. No name. Just pushed under quietly like a guilty note. No greeting. Just one line. We all make mistakes but we're still family. I smiled a little. Wrote 4 words on a slip of paper. Slid it under their door the next morning. Stick together. I'm out. I heard her before she knocked. Same slow steps up the stairs. A pause outside my door. Then 2 knocks, sharp, meant to be noticed. Emma never rang the doorbell. She knew I'd ignore it. A knock? That was different. It was personal. I opened the door. She stood there. No makeup. No rings. Just a small jacket and that look. The one she always wore when she was about to ask for something. I'm not here for money, she said. That's new, I replied. She didn't laugh. I came because I want you to think about the wedding. What about it? I want you to be there. I said nothing. It's going to be small. No drama. Just close family. I'd like you to come. I didn't move. She kept talking. I know we messed up. I messed up. But I don't want my future kids growing up in a broken family. You're still my brother. No, I said. I was your A-team until the card stopped working. She flinched. Not because it was harsh, because it was true. I'm not proud of what happened, she said. But I'm trying to fix it. We can't change the past, but maybe. I cut her off. Your wedding already happened. When you stole $4,200 from my account. When you posted that family photo and cropped me out. When I stood at that table for 12 and realized I was number 13, the extra. She looked away. And now you show up with an invitation, like that makes it all okay. I shook my head. You're not offering peace. You're offering silence, again. I'm trying, she whispered. No. You didn't lose a brother, Emma. You finally saw what I look like when I stopped being useful. She stood there quiet. I walked to my closet. Grabbed a blank envelope. Wrote 4 words on the front. Returned to sender. I placed it on the table between us. That's my RSVP. Take it. She didn't touch it. She didn't touch anything. I just thought, she started but couldn't finish. She walked to the door. Hand on the handle. One last look back. If anything ever changes, you know where to find me. Exactly, I said. Behind me. She left. I didn't shut the door right away. I stood there listening. Her footsteps going down the stairs. The sound of a car starting. Then silence. I picked up the envelope. Put it in a drawer. Not as a memory, as a reminder. The next day my phone buzzed. The utilities for their apartment? Unlinked from my name. A bank alert. The debt was fully paid. 3 days later, the car loan I co-signed? Cleared. Retitled. No more debts. No more ties. No more helping. Sunday morning I made coffee. Rain hit the windows. I didn't think about her wedding. I didn't think about the past. I just sat there, breathing in peace. Peace that cost me years. But was worth every second. That evening I went to the post office. Asked for a new label for my mailbox. Plain black letters. No family requests accepted. They didn't lose me. They spent me. No. I'm done. Not broke in money. Broke in patience. And for the first time in my life, I owe them nothing.